What exactly is next for the Battlefield series? Well, right now we have Battlefield Hardline due to drop in March 2015. But what about beyond that? What are we going to see for Battlefield in the future? In a recent earnings call, EA announced that the next Battlefield title after Hardline is going to be releasing in the tail end of 2016. Now that sounds like a long way away, and it actually is. It's over 24 months away right now. Between October and December 2016 is the time frame they've given us. So that really is quite a long time away. But don't forget, we do have an extended Battlefield 4 game cycle. That's going to be moving alongside Hardline, and Hardline's going to be releasing as well, which should fill that gap quite nicely. Not to mention, we have Star Wars Battlefront as well. But here we go. Recently, an article on MP First was posted, links in the description for that by the way, and the EA CFO, Blake Jorgensen, has been quoted to say the following: "It will be a return to a Battlefield military-style game. More to come on that." Now that doesn't leave a lot of room for sort of figuring out what that might be. It doesn't say whether it's going to go back to what we know a military-style Battlefield game to be, or whether it's going to be something a little bit different. And that definitely leaves the window open for either a next true Battlefield game, i.e. Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, one of the mainline series games, or could we see a return to the Bad Company series? Because let's not forget, that was in a military setting as well. One thing we can be confident of is that it won't be a sequel to Battlefield Hardline. Now, that game's been sort of thrown around backwards and forwards, has been kind of given a bad rep for not being a true Battlefield title in some people's eyes, and I think that returning back to the military style and shifting that focus back to what we know Battlefield to truly be is a really good decision. That's not to say that I think that Hardline is a bad decision. I genuinely think that that game will do very well and will probably flare up as maybe like a side series like the Bad Company series is right now, and maybe we'll see a sequel in a few years' time. I think it's going to be a good game, but obviously the decision to go back to military style shooter is something that I think the whole Battlefield community will come together and say that was a good decision. So looking further on from that, we have 3 different studios right now that could potentially be making the next Battlefield game. We have DICE Stockholm, who maybe have their hands a little bit too full with Star Wars Battlefront and Mirror's Edge 2. We have DICE LA, who are currently working on the extended game period of Battlefield 4, and we have Visceral Games, who are currently working on Hardline. Now, as we've said, 2 years into the future, that's a lot of development time. It's not the longest time in the world, but judging by the fact that this guy, Blake Jorgensen, EA CFO, has already said that the next game is in development and will return to the military-style shooter that we expect, has to mean that this thing is already in development. And that wouldn't surprise me. Battlefield Hardline took 3 years to develop. BF4 took 2.5 years to develop. So these kind of games do take time. So it's got to be in its early stages already of being designed. Of those 3 developers, I'd like to see DICE LA develop this game. I think they deserve a chance at making a true Battlefield title simply due down to the work that they've done with Battlefield 4. Everybody has to hold their hands up to them and say, you've done a fantastic job in fixing what was a very broken game. Visceral Games had a hand in fixing Battlefield 4 as well. They've done a lot of work on the netcode for CTE. In fact, they did all of the work for the netcode in CTE, which surprised me because they didn't get any credit for it, but that's neither here nor there. But overall, I think DICE LA do deserve a chance at making a full game. They've proven that they can make good DLCs with Second Assault, Dragon's Teeth, and Final Stand, and that's not to mention potentially another DLC coming out after Final Stand as well that's been rumoured for a little while now. I think that they deserve a chance at making their own game, so I really hope it is them that will be bringing us the next Battlefield game. But what do you guys think? Do you think we should see a return to the Bad Company series, perhaps made by DICE LA? Would you like to go back to a standard Battlefield game, maybe see Battlefield 5 come out at the end of 2016? Let me know some of your thoughts down in the comments today. It'd be really good to get sort of like an idea of where you think the Battlefield series should go next. Obviously, rather controversially right now, we have Battlefield Hardline coming out, and that has kind of split the community a little bit. But obviously, in the future, we know we're going to go back to that military-style shooter. But where do you think it should go? Let me know in the comments today. But thank you very much for watching. That is the end of the video. If you could leave me a rating, that'd be great. And as I've said already, comments are always appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.